Hello and welcome in. We are going to go over our second to last portion of our poetry unit. I'm super excited. This is the fun part where we've been able to put everything that we've been working on for this unit into actual poetry that you guys are going to create. So, a couple of reminders. Please, if you haven't finished your magical poetry prompts in your journal, make sure that you are finishing those up because having them complete will help you in case you just can't find inspiration for this portion of the unit. So these will come in handy for you. We're going to do a quick partner activity. You and your partner together in all are going to have 5 minutes and you're going to share one of your prompts. You are more than welcome to read it word for word if you want, show them the proof that you've collected, or you can just quickly summarize it to your desire, how much you want to tell us, and kind of just have fun. You just pick just one of them, all right? And this is a good time to practice those conversational skills. Besides sharing, that's not really conversing, that's sharing. You're telling a story, your example and everything, your experience. What your partner should do is ask questions, all right? So one person will share, the other one will actually put in the conversation skills into practice. You can ask questions or you can make connecting comments, So you can do like, why did you choose that? And who did you go with? And where did you go to do that? Just more in detail questions. Connecting, you can find similarities like, oh my goodness, you bought that outfit for this? This is great. I love the color blue. It's my favorite. Or connecting to people like, oh my goodness, I can't believe you took your mom. My mom would never go. Or sharing similar experiences like, oh my goodness, I totally went to that pottery activity like a week ago or something. So actually conversing with your partner, getting to know them a little bit more. We're almost done with this unit and then we'll be going into argumentative. So this is a nice way to kind of get to know your partner in depth a little bit, just a little bit more. And make sure to share what you feel comfortable sharing. Okay. So today, what we're going to do, we're going to be using our journals, prompts 81 to 84 for our rough drafts. We're going to write all of our ideas for these poems in here. That's why we have our magical poetry prompts in here as well to make sure it's all in one spot together. We're going to go over 5 different styles of poetry and you guys will be choosing 4. Okay, so we're going to go over 5 and you're going to choose 4 and each one is in a different style. So choose 4 of the 5, all right, which as you can see in the little post-it notes, we've got sonnet, blackout, sonnet, I thought I said sonic, forgive me, sonnet, blackout, haiku, free verse, and rhyme, all right, so you're going to choose 4 of those 5s. Okay, so let's get into it. Poetry workshop. Just to remind you guys, we have been living poetry. We have been reading poetry in our booklets and annotating them, all right? And now we have gotten to the portion of writing poetry. Remember, poetry is all about life, the human experience. If you don't have inspiration for the poems, use these as your help. This can be good examples, right? Because we've gone through a different styles of poems in our booklet, and we've created experiences of human life, right, that you've experienced. So feel free to use one of these ones. Maybe these ones, just one of them touched your heart more than the other and you want to write about it. These are a good place to start. If you're stuck or if you just don't have anything to share, use those as tools to be able to help you along with this part of our lesson. So the first type of poetry is haiku. It's simple, it's sweet, it's short, it's also a little difficult because you have to take a big idea and write it in something very tiny and very small. So haiku is from Japan. The most famous one I'm sure you guys have heard of is Matsuo Basho. I have an example poem for you just in a little bit. It's mostly about nature. You can talk about seasons if you'd like. You take 2 juxtaposed images or ideas, so something about the world that's happening or, that humans are experiencing, and connecting it with nature. Kind of a little bit like transcendentalism, but to a different degree. And it's only 3 lines. And the first line we have 5 syllables, middle line, second line, 7 syllables, and the third line, 3 syllables. So it'll look a little something like this. Short, sweet, 3 lines. The moon glows the same. It is the drifting cloud forms make it seem to change. Haiku. If you want a little more detail, this young person on YouTube does a great job of going into further detail, but pretty much those are the requirements for the haiku. Okay, sonnets. Sonnets are probably the hardest poem style that you are going to attempt if you choose to. It does have to be an iambic pentameter. We've talked about this regarding the stressed and unstressed. 10 syllables per each line. And we're doing the Elizabethan style, okay, which the endings follow the pattern of A, B, A, C, D, C, E, F, E, F, G, G. You are more than welcome to look up our first example from our booklet. We've annotated it. We kind of talked about it as well. Remember, sonnets are about how someone has affected you. You're usually talking about someone else, and the repercussions, the consequences, whether it's good or bad consequences of how you feel about them. It can be romantic. It doesn't have to be romantic. It's just sort of up to you. So here's an example for you in case you don't have that one. We went over sonnet 18 in our booklet, but I've provided another sonnet for you. Feel free to use this one because at least we have our annotations and a little more detail about the iambic pentameter and the pattern as well. So here's one example for you. And then we also have this video on YouTube for you if you'd like. He's wonderful. He's so funny. I really like this YouTuber, and he goes into really good detail of kind of how to use that requirements to make a sonnet, a Shakespearean sonnet. So it is the most hardest style. But if you want to challenge yourself, go for it. The third one is probably the most popular one. It's blackout poetry. If you're an artistic person, you like to doodle, draw, even if you're not artistic and you want to try it out, this is a really fun one. You just pretty much get any kind of magazine, and with a marker, usually a marker, you can do other colors if you'd like. You find words from the magazine and you create a poem from the words given to you on the magazine, and then you black out everything else. Okay, so I have my example. I made it a heart and kind of just drew the line here in the middle to kind of guide the reader where they've got to go. But here are better examples for you from people who are much more artistic than I. And so you really want the art that you create on the magazine to replicate, portray, emanate the poem that you are creating. Okay, so feel free to look through these examples. There's a bunch of examples online. This one's a lot of fun, and like I said, it's the most popular choice that students usually do. So I'm excited to see what you guys create with this one, if you decide to do it. The fourth one is a rhyme. Rhymes are very easy in my opinion. You just repeat the lines at the end. The most famous rhyme poem is Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, How I Wonder What You Are. So it's the end part of the sentences that rhyme. So feel free to have a little bit of fun with that if you wish. With this one, we're going to probably want about one stanza, so like 5 lines if you can. If you want to go more and you're feeling really inspired and want to just write 2 stanzas, 3 stanzas, go for it. Go nuts. Have fun with this, right? The rhyme one is a lot of fun. And kind of get in touch with your childlike self. And I've also provided you with a YouTube video, and you're more than welcome to go into detail with this one if you prefer to watch it in a different form. And then our last type of style regarding poetry is free verse. Free verse is another popular one that people like to do. There's no limitations, right? Free verse, just kind of do what you want. I'm going to give you a few tips to kind of help you navigate on where to start for your free verse. But it really is an expression of who you are, what you're going through. Granted, all poetry is like this, but you kind of have liberty to have fun with the words, with everything, with the design, the placement, the punctuation. So here's an example. You can see here that they've played around with punctuation, with the lines where words go, and make it kind of more molded to what they like. You can read this one in detail if you like, but here are a few tips for you to kind of start off with free verse. You can start with an idea and emotion, right? Emphasize those feelings, do vivid imagery, play with those lines, experiment with sound and rhythm. It doesn't have to rhyme, and make sure that it is personal and to your voice. Write it in your voice. Okay, so for the rest of the class period, we're going to be working on picking 4 of the 5 styles and putting the rough drafts in prompts 81 to 84. I want our rough drafts in pencil or pen and in the same notebook that we've been doing our magical poetry. So make sure everything is in one spot. All right, so the rest of the class period is yours, and I can't wait to see what you guys create.